Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brad. In my hands is Night of the Cadillacs #1, out this week from Scout Comics. It's a really interesting debut that there's a lot I like and then a lot that kind of also left me frustrated. And the frustrated aspects of it is very, well, I'll just call like superficial layout aspects of it. Overall, the story and everything is really, really tight. But I'm going to give examples of the things that kind of drove me a little bit nuts. So it's written by Jake Hearns and Jeff Marsick, art by Kirk the Savage Manley, edited by Jeff Marsick. So the story is, I think it's every 14 years, like a warp opens up between this other world and Earth, and these creatures come through that are vampires, and they are looking for resources. We find out that their world is just like being destroyed by those who control it, and that they need to go somewhere to get resources to survive. There's a girl whose mother disappeared 14 years ago, and of course that is a huge chunk of the story, as she is a target and wanted by the vampires that come through this time, with one vamp trying to save her. Yeah, very Terminator-ish, but it works. And it's even more than that. It's like Terminator meets the Warriors with vampires. So like each vampire gang has like a theme to it. A lot of like rockabilly style to it, which is cool. Like very 50s greaser style. The one kind of has like that Nazi pith helmet biker look to it, and then you got women who look very much like the kind of the sort of bombshell-ish, and then I would say like the tattoo bombshells, kind of like the more modern bombshells, and the other guys that look like, they look like they want to be out of Greece. And it works, and all of that works and works really well. The style is really cool, the story is a nice setup, the pacing's really solid, like all of that is really good. Now, here's what drives me insane about this, is that you get like a really cool story going through. You can kind of check out the art here, maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but I dug the art, I actually kind of liked it. And then we get something like that, where it says like, introducing Anna, and then you get people coming through a warp with that, and then like another pinup, which is really kind of a weird pacing, and then we get back to story. So it's like a story that gets broken up, and then every so often, like, okay, we go from this page to pinup. And like part of me sits there and says, all right, it's interesting if it was used at all, but like breaking up the story with the pinup just kills the flow of reading. I mean, I know a lot of people complain about like DC ads where you can't really tell that they're ad, or Marvel too, where you can't really tell that it's an ad, and you're reading and then you start reading it and you're like, wait, I just went from an ad. So like we go from story to pinup, and then that ends it. So that actually ends it. But like it's not intrusive, but it's just it kills the flow. Now, where I think it would have worked and worked really well is to have used those pinups to kind of explain the gang. So you got the cool pinup, and then have like a little factoid of being like, it's this gang, and this is kind of what we need to know about them, and that would have worked really, really well. The main character, the guy, vampire who comes in and like as he's explaining it, and be like, oh, it's this gang, pinup, factoids on the pinup page, back to the story. That would have worked really, really well, but the pinups don't seem to really necessarily jive and connect with what's going on in the story, and they don't tell us anything. They're just cool art. So to me, that just disrupts the flow of the story, and it doesn't kill it, but it just makes it really frustrating. So that's my knock on it. Like, hopefully future issues they don't go with that. But if I were editing, if I were giving advice to them, that's where I would focus, and being like, all right, if you're going to do pinups, you need the pinups, one, to match what the hell's going on, but two, and coincide with like that section of the comic, but two, actually provide some info that's going on. So instead of having the main character explain it, you do this, and we're just going to assume this is what he explained to her, and back into the story. So that's my one knock. If you like vampire stories and kind of like cool gangs, if you want like the Warriors with vampires, this is pretty good. This is a nice kind of spin on that sort of style story. Out now in comic shops, actually out this week. You can get it. We've got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code, tell comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We'll have some links underneath this video. They'll hopefully be affiliate links. Not really hopefully. Some of them might be affiliate links. If they are, we do get a small percentage by doing that. You'll support our site. So thank you for that. And also just watching our videos, you support us, so thank you for that as well. If you're into Scout Comics, if you're out in comics, into comics in general, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.